Welcome to the Project Manager's Prism. I am excited that I get to speak to you today about something that I find near and dear to my heart. I want to make sure that I provide everyone with the information necessary to be successful at project management. Now, this is something that I haven't always received. So, this is something that I desperately want to make sure that everyone has access to. So I welcome you all in today. This is Veronica Lane. I am a certified project management professional. I am an agile certified practitioner. Project management is my jam. It is what I do. It's exciting to me. So the fact that I'm able to be live with you today to share with you something that I am so incredibly passionate about makes me so happy. So I do want to make sure that I have access to everyone. And let's see if I do. Just 1 second. We should be live on YouTube right now. So if you do see me on YouTube, please let me know. Type into the chat. I want to make sure that I have access to you and be able to speak to you to the best of my ability. But this is something that is awesome to me. So I get to talk to you about the Project Manager's Prism. And when we're having these conversations, there are things that, you know what, I'll be transparent with you. When I was new to project management, my bosses had no idea what I was supposed to be doing during the course of the day. I'm not proud of that statement, but it doesn't make it not true. They had no idea what I was supposed to be doing during the course of my day. They just knew that there were projects that had to get done, and I needed to make sure that I got those done because that's what I was being paid to do. But no one walked me through how to do it. They just said, I need to make sure that you do it. But they didn't tell me how. So, as with a lot of us, we start off our project management life not as project managers. In fact, we just happen to raise our hand in a meeting, and lo and behold, now we have a project. And we're usually doing the thing, whatever this project is, we do the thing awesome. And now all of a sudden, we're not the ones that are supposed to be doing this thing. So that was my life experience. That was what I was dealing with. And I said, I bet I'm not the only one out there that is experiencing something like this. And that's where the project manager's prism came into being. When we get hired at different positions, different jobs, different locations, they are taking the assumption that the information that you are bringing with you from wherever you have worked prior, that you're going to take that with you. But what if this is a new skill set for you? What if this is something that you haven't done before? Who's going to walk you through it? And you can't possibly tell your boss if you have no idea how to do it because they hired you so that you could do it. So there is the quandary. There's the issue that we have to figure out how we can work through. And that's what I am looking to solve for you. So we are going to start things off with the project manager's prism. This is something that I get to talk to you about. Our prism. What are the things that we should do? What are the things that we shouldn't be doing? What are the things that I need to make sure that I do a little bit better than everybody else? What is that? So we are going to be talking about that today. I'm going to see if I can see you for a moment because that would make me happy. I'm going to see if I can see your beautiful faces. And if not, that's fine. So we want to make sure that the information that you are receiving is actually what you need in order to be successful. So I want to make sure that I'm able to capture any questions that you might have for me. I want to make sure that I take care of you while we are together. There I am. So what does this look like for you? This project manager's prism. How can I make sure that all the things that are necessary actually happen and you're able to navigate the world in a way that makes sense to you. Well, the very first thing is that I want you to know a little bit more about me. As I mentioned, I am Veronica Lane. I am the CEO and Director of Training for Veronica Lane Consulting. And my focus is to make sure that I provide you with everything that you need in order to be successful in the project management space. So, what does that look like? It could be tied to you as an individual looking to manage your projects, but it could also be that your organization wants to train you all to be able to get all of the things done that need to get done. And if that training is something that they would need, then I can definitely do that. As I mentioned, this is not something that I had access to. So I want to make sure that you have access to these things. Who have I worked for? So if you take a look at the information here, you see that I have worked for Navy Federal. I have taught classes at Michigan State, the Centers for Disease Control, the Navy, sheriff's offices. I have had many different participants as a part of my classes. Can I share all of them with you? Absolutely not. But I do want you to know that there are a lot of different companies that have realized that project management is important, and we need to figure out ways to make sure that our staff know exactly what to do in order to be successful. See, when we think about project management, or at least how organizations have started to think about it, and I'm really happy about this, is that there are things that our organizations intrinsically know how to do, like all of the day to day tasks, what we would call BAU or business as usual. But we also need to fix things. And I don't always want to take my staff away from their business as usual, their BAU work, and then have them work on the other items that need to get done for the future. So I want to split my staff. I want to have people who are going to be working on the day to day things. And I also want people to work on our future state. And once our future state is done, then it's going to roll into our BAU state. So, what does this look like for you? Well, success leads to confidence, which is where I want you to be as you take on different roles, different conversations. Oh, that's fantastic. My head is over my head. That makes me happy. So we have different things that we have to make sure that we get done, but we have to be confident while we're doing it, right? Who's going to talk to us? Who's going to really listen to what we have to say if we sound like Eeyore while we're saying it? I think we should be able to get this project done. I'm not quite sure if we'll be able to do that. I hope that we can. I don't want a person who's only hoping to be a part of my project team, and I definitely don't want them to lead my executives. I want someone who's confident, someone that understands the work that has to be done. That's what I'm looking for. And everything that you've done up until this point has taught other people how to treat you. Everything from how fast you answer your emails to if something on your project doesn't go as well as you would like for it to go, what are your next steps? How are you going to continually lead your project teams? That's what your executives are looking for. They want someone who's going to be able to take care of things. And what does value look like, right? So I want you to think back to projects that you have managed or projects that you have been on. So you weren't actually the project manager for it, but you were sitting, looking, and observing. So now it is time for your project to go in, or at least you're having conversations. You're thinking that your next best step is implementation for your project. And then somebody says, "Thank you so much for turning this into us. I really appreciate it. You're awesome. But now that I see it, it's not exactly what I wanted. Now that I see it, I really need for you to make adjustments to it." Now you're thinking to yourself, self, how you have approved everything along the way. You've approved my work. You have said that this is exactly what you wanted. And now that I'm delivering it to you, you're telling me that this isn't what you wanted. And now someone's saying that all of this was your fault. You're the reason why this project didn't go in as successfully as they would like for it to. But you're saying to yourself, wait a minute, they were a part of this project the entire time. I've been asking them questions the entire time. I've been reaching out to them, making sure that we are going down the path that they want it to go down. And now that I'm turning it into them, they're telling me that this isn't what they wanted. And you're saying to yourself, I know that there has to be a better way. There has to be something else out there that's actually going to walk me through this, something else out there that is going to tell me that this is the right thing to do. But I can't ask my boss for that. I can't ask them what my next best step is because I'm supposed to know it already. And you're saying to yourself, but I don't know it. What should I be doing about this? Well, all of this is actually tied to your project manager's mindset. And one size doesn't fit all. As a project manager, and you probably have worked with lots of project managers, and you're saying to yourself, not everybody knows all the things that have to get done. That's normal, or at least I think that that's normal. But it's actually not as normal as you would like for it to be. See, as the project manager, everyone's looking to you to make sure that everything gets done. Everyone's looking to you to make sure that we have the right people as a part of our staff. Everyone's looking to you to make sure that this is the first and last time that we need to work on this project. But are you used to everyone looking at you? Are you comfortable with that? Can you shine under that type of pressure? See, people are paying attention to you in a way that they're not paying attention to anybody else. They're not confident in what they currently have to do, right? I've worked on projects where I've saved companies over $965 million. That's more than $5. That's night and day more than $5. $965 million. I'm in charge of all of the moving pieces. And sometimes we work with people who are really strong personalities, right? As strong personalities, now you're in the front and they're not wanting to do what you've tasked them to do. What are you going to do about that? What do you feel comfortable doing about that? See, your focus is to make sure that your project goes in. And as a project manager, you're actually getting things done through other people. That's what you do. How do you now get things done through other people who don't want to do the thing? That's where our mindset comes from. And how can we make sure that we don't miss things? Well, when we are project managers, we have to conquer challenges. Challenges are a constant for us. This is always going to happen. What should we do when it does happen? Not everything is going to move smoothly. In fact, as you navigate your project, you're going to find out that your project is bigger than you thought it was. You actually said yes to doing something that you said, I thought this was going to be a quick initiative, and now you're finding out that it's not. This is where you've uncovered that your project has a project that has a project that has a project. So now, what am I supposed to do about that? What are the different steps that I should be taking? Well, if you think about your confidence, this is where that can do attitude comes into play. I used to have the Rocky theme go through my mind while I managed projects. I heard the Rocky theme in my brain. I would say this is not only something that I can do, this is something that will get done. And if anyone can be charged with this task, I know that I'm the right person for it. Now, I've had people ask me, how in the world can you feel that way? Especially since projects are temporary and unique endeavors. These are things that have never been done before in the history of ever. How in the world can you be confident that you're able to get this done? How can that happen? It's easier than you think. It's easier than you think because if you have a solid foundation, if you know everything about projects, if you know how to lead other people, then having this can do attitude is now a part of you. This is something that you do. This is how you navigate your space, and this is your professional brand. And people are now looking for your professional brand. What aura do you have? What is your leadership aura? If you were to walk through the office, or if someone that you don't know were to have a conversation about you, what would they say? What would they say? What is your brand? See, everything that you have been doing, all of your interactions, how you navigate your space is building your brand. This is you. What does this look like for you? Are there changes that you believe you need to make sure that everything that you need to do is successful? And if so, what is that? How can you make sure that you don't miss things? How do you foster collaboration? See, you're going to be working with people who possibly have never together before in the history of ever. Never. Our project teams go through stages, and these stages aren't organic. This is for you to develop. You're going to make sure that the right people are talking about the right things at the right time, that everyone feels comfortable speaking to each other about this particular initiative. Collaboration is key to getting all of these moving parts in place. And does your team need inspiration or do they need motivation? See, inspiration is totally different than motivation. Inspiration, they have something on the inside. You are sparking that little pilot light, that little flame that lives within them. And sometimes we just have to fan it, right? We're going to fan it and they are going to feel excellent and we're going to move our project forward. Or do we need to motivate them? Meaning they don't have that little pilot light, right? They're looking to get their motivation from external factors, right? Maybe this is you telling them, "Oh my goodness, you have done a great job. Please keep doing that. I want to make sure that I see lots more of this. I love this. Please keep doing it." Or are you going to tell them, "You're already fantastic. In fact, that's why you were chosen for this project. You were chosen for this because you do hard things well. I know it may feel as though you were voluntold to be a part of this project, but you really weren't. You weren't voluntold at all. See, we had conversations about you. And through these conversations, we were looking for the right people that needed to be a part of this project. And your name kept coming up. And because your name kept coming up, I needed to make sure that you had capacity for this. So I am overjoyed that you do have capacity for this. Thank you so much for taking the time for being a part of this particular project. It's different. Motivating and inspiring, they're not the same thing. And we have to figure out what our project team needs, what our subject matter expert needs, what our executive sponsors need, what our product owners need, what our scrum masters need. What do they need in order to be successful? All of this comes from the leadership aura that you put out to your teams. So, how can you make sure that they're doing all the things that they should be doing? Well, one of the biggest pieces, absolutely, we do need to convey our ideas with confidence. Yes, we do. We also need to make sure that through this strong foundation that we're building, that we're streamlining our processes, right? We don't want our team to be confused by the work that has to be done. And there are tools that I'll teach you through the project manager's prism so that you'll know how to organize not only your thoughts, but the thoughts of your project team. How can we make sure that everything that needs to happen actually happens? And how can we track progress? See, that's where our project blueprints come into play. What should be happening first, second, third, fourth, fifth? When should we do it? Are there tasks that we can be doing while we're doing something else? And if so, how can we outline that? What does that look like for us? As a part of the project manager's prism, I'm going to teach you how to do all of these things. But it all starts with you. All of it. All of it starts with you. What are your traits that you believe you still need to enhance? In the first module of the Project Manager's Prism, there is a self assessment. And in this self assessment, we're going to create your baseline. Now, your baseline is going to be different from everyone else's. So I want to make sure that you're focusing in on you. In fact, I don't even want you to focus in on what you believe your boss wants you to be doing. I want you to focus in on what you need in order to be successful. You know you better than everybody else. So, what are your traits? What do you know about project management? What do you not know about project management? What have you been doing that has been working fantastic and you don't want to change that? What have you been doing that hasn't been quite as successful as you would like for it to be? What tips, tricks, tools can you use to supplement what you've currently been doing so it can be better? What are your strengths? Where are your areas of opportunity? And since you're working with a team, we need to make sure that they're bought into this entire process. As you probably know, there are different project management methodologies. And with these different methodologies, we need to make sure that our team knows exactly what they need to do, or they're going to be arguing just like the people that are on the screen right now. And then that's you sitting at that desk saying, how did this happen? And I'm not quite sure how to fix this. I don't want that to be you. I want your team to actually want to do the work. I want your team to forget that they had a vacation day. I'm not saying that I don't want them to take vacation days. I'm just saying that they are so into this process and they're so into the work that has to be done that they're not even thinking about it quite as much as you would think. This is just how they do business, and they do business through excellence and not perfection. You want them to be excellent. But how can I get their buy-in? Are we going to be working on waterfall project management? Are we going to be working in agile project management? And as you probably know, agile has 42 different frameworks that live underneath it. Which one is going to work best for us? That's what we are going to look for. And we're going to tell them what all of the documents are. And we are going to create our project repository where we're going to house all of our project documents. We're going to teach our teams how to go to those places so that they don't come to you for every little thing, because you probably have somewhere between 6, 9, 15 projects running simultaneously with hundreds of people as a part of your project team. We are teaching them to be able to do things without you. Doesn't that sound crazy? If you are the project manager, why in the world would you want them to do things without you? There are so many reasons. And in the project manager's prism, I'm going to tell you what those reasons are as you continue to move forward. Okay. I like to end things with you being able to ask me questions. I want you to ask me questions. I want you to feel comfortable asking me questions. What does this look like for you? How can I make sure that you are getting everything out of this process that you possibly can? So I'm going to open the floor for you to be able to pose any questions that you might have. And I'm also going to share with you a little bit more about where to find and where to sign up for the Project Manager's Prism. I want you to have access to me. So I'm going to do that for us right now. And as you think about what you need, I'm going to get you signed in so that you know exactly where to go. Any questions so far? Any questions? Okay, let's see if this is going to update for us really quick. It'll make me happy when it does. Any questions for me though? Any questions? All right. So I want you to be able to go to, I'm going to type this into the chat. Okay. And in the chat right now, what you should see is veronicaLaneConsulting.com. And for you to sign up for the Project Managers Prism, I will also be putting that into our chat and I'll walk you through it also. But once again, ask me as many questions as you would like to. I want to make sure that I provide you with everything that you need in order to be successful. So you should see 2 links into our chat right now. Well, I appreciate you all so much for being a part. Makes me happy that I'm able to take care of you all today. Feel free to ask me as many questions as you would like to, and it's my absolute pleasure being with you all today. Have a fantastic day, everyone.